Hello, Culz Paranormal. My name is Colin, and we're going to bring you something a little bit more different. We're going to bring you some mining memoirs, kind of show you some active workings, maybe some of the abandoned workings of these mines in the 1900s to present. Kind of show you what all the miners went through back in the day, and also some of the equipment they might have used. Alrighty, later in this episode you'll see kind of a trail that Colorado has in Victor, Colorado. It's a neat trail that kind of shows a booming industry for gold mining back in the 1900s and early or late 1800s. It's a trail that I went on back when I was maybe 7 years old, and I'm very intrigued to kind of go see what it looks like and how much it's changed back in the day. So here, I want to show you before we go ahead and go to that video, is a carbide lamp. This is probably the most common tool back in the day that the miner could have used. This would have helped them see, this would have guided them everywhere back in the day. So this was the most valuable tool to a miner, other than the pickaxe and all that stuff. It's a bit windy, but I was showed the way you light it is you kind of trap the gas that's being created, so it's carbide, and the carbide reacts to water, and sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not, or you just go the short man's way. And it, of course, don't work. There it is. So, for how small that flame is, it's very bright. When I first lit this, I was like, well, how much can one flame make? Or how much can this illuminate? That tiny flame with, of course, the reflector lights a lot. I don't know how many lumens that would be in today's standard, but that would light up a tunnel easily. Well, you're missing a couple pistons. Well, it's a one-way trip, I guess. I believe these were steam ran. Dual sit. Yeah, because each one had their own little steam engine. That or it's air compressor. It's one of the two. Each one was independently ran to wind the spools. One took the passengers down, one took the mine carts up and down as well. Your controls are in here. And I could be very honest with you, I don't know exactly what all the controls do. One's the brake, one's probably to raise, and one's probably then to lower. I don't want to step it. So maybe it was just one cylinder. The reversing gears are right here. I wouldn't, because the eccentrics. This would be where the power would be to the mine, because these are the breakers. They all have their own little names of where they went to here. Now that might have been moved into here. Or maybe the mine entrance or something. Seeing the cables go up there. Or maybe the mine entrance or something. Alright, right behind me you see the Teresa mine. This mine is part of a huge loop in the Vindicator trail here. It's just outside of Victor, Colorado. This mine operated from 1890 and ceased its operation around 1986. As you can see, this mine was outfitted for 4 hoppers, and for how much ore they were pulling at, they definitely needed it. This was responsible for bringing up 120,000 ounces of gold. Those hoppers lead it down to most likely waiting trucks that would bring it down to the ore processing plant to extract the gold from it. With this A-frame, there's 2 lifts on it, one that's responsible for just the ore, hauling the ore up, and one that's responsible for bringing the miners up and down. Don't climb on any of these. A lot of these structures are not structurally sound to hold human weight and all that stuff on it, so it's definitely nice to see from a distance and to kind of see the history. We might not think about like all the stuff we use that has iron or gold, silver, possibly. That stuff had to be mined up. And some of these miners, they work long hours just to get, I would say, a decent pay. But this one is definitely one of the biggest mine operations in this area. Up here. Well, that would have been a drop. Yeah. Well, Keegan, to be honest with you, I don't know what I'm looking at. What are you seeing, Cooks? So this is the old powder keg. We have a little dynamite in here. There's old timbers right there. Alright, so behind me, you can see this is where they would have kept their TNT, so they would call the powder room. It was just a way of them separating it from the mine, so if it were to go off, it would cause little damage. And they would have done the same with their blasting caps. So they would have kept that in a separate little area. So there probably is one more of these somewhere else further down, just so then it's separate. So if one goes off, the other doesn't. So then it's kind of an insurance for the miners, the mines and stuff, and also protected the miners as well. You don't want that going off in the mine. Just they had little alcoves that they would have kept it in at the entrance. But if that were to go off, you don't want to risk the collapse, so that's probably why they left it on the surface. Well, they got caged off though. Is there any duties in there? How's the ground in there? There's a cellar too. Is there? I didn't see the cellar. I think it's right there. Could be a coal chute. Ooh, it's a baby cellar. That's pretty neat. There was people here earlier.
Really? Yeah. In that van? Yeah. It says no motorized vehicles on here.
I know, I saw that. Mm-hmm. There has to be downstairs. So is this a fireplace? Mm-hmm. So there has to be downstairs. No. Interesting. Colors. I do feel like there's gotta be a downstairs. I bet you that's just the front. Do you think people are down in the back? Let's go through this way. does that sign say? Well, let's go through this way. Make sure it's 1964.
No, it's a fireplace. Cool drawing.
No.
I think this part of the frame is strong enough to hold me. My head's got. Here's Johnny.
Yeah, it's too bad a lot of the components are gone. Hopefully they're in a museum somewhere. Cooks, what do you see?
I see a whole lot of nothing. Can't see the bottom, that's for sure.
Hey everyone, so as you can tell we're at our A-frame. So it looks like this one was also a dual hoist. You can see down here they probably blocked the second one here. That was probably their entrance down, but this one is still in their access point to the mine. And the miners are really good at ventilating the mines naturally. And right here, I can feel a lot of cold air coming out, because with this breeze coming through, it's actually pushing fresh air in, pushing the old air out. So this is, I don't know how big the workings are underneath, but there's a lot of workings here that probably connect up to all the other mines in this area. This was originally a timber hoist. Around the 1908, 1910, they probably replaced this with the middle. In the distance, you can see two reels that held a lot of many miles of wire that held onto the cage or the skip cart, that would bring all that stuff up. See the grooves that that rope made. It was a steam hoist once upon a time, and if you look towards the left, you can see where the eccentrics are. That would reverse the steam flow of the main piston that was at the very end. They did upgrade it to an electric hoist later on, and that's to your right. So that little gear over there would connect to a little gearbox that would connect to the motor itself. Although the wire is still off, the wire still leaves a permanent mark on that wheel. You can still see where the wire once was and how tight it probably was on that spool. I like that type of history. Not sketchy stairs at all. There's a ghost. That's not sketchy stairs at all.
No, it was nice. There actually used to be a banister up there. It just kind of got knocked down.
Right? Someone's over there. kind of neat.
Yeah.
Look at how this is bowed though. Oh, look! Our favorite room. The basement. Oh, it doesn't go far. Judging how collapsed it is, I don't think it ain't going to go down more. It's a brand new roof though. They must be trying to really protect it. Ooh, what's in that pit? Let's go to that pit. I don't think we can go to that other one though. It's actually fenced off with good fences. Definitely once upon a time was an entrance.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's probably not too much to explore over here. I'm sure it's gated off to the tunnel. There's some more down there we can explore. Looking at the house. Alf?
No, just doing history stuff.
Yeah, he's filming the. Hey Cools, so this video turned out to be a little bit longer than we expected, so we're gonna split into two different parts. This was just part one, so we thank you for joining us for part one. Part two will come up here later in the week. If you enjoy, there's going to be more Mighty Memoirs up here. Click the link. And anything else for Culz Paranormal, the link will be right up here. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.